Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. It is Book and Reading Saturday. Before I talk about today's book, Churchill, wanted to share my cup, which is a Gryffindor mug drinking out of this morning, because my daughter was a huge Harry Potter fan, and I can't count how much I've spent and my wife has spent on Harry Potter things throughout the years. Obviously all the books, and my daughter devoured those, loved those books, and just loved everything Harry Potter ever since she read those. Naturally, we have the DVD, Blu-ray editions, special editions, Lego sets of the huge castles and other things, mugs and clothes and this and that and wands, just tons of Harry Potter stuff. We've been to Universal Studios in California where she could go to Hogwarts and interact with the wand that interacts with the things in the windows and go on the rides, have a butterbeer there in front of the castle. We've been to Universal Studios Florida where it's even bigger. You get to do the Harry Potter stuff and go to Diagon Alley, and we've done all of that. She's enjoyed the Harry Potter store in New York City. It wasn't open when my wife and I were in New York 5 years ago. So this coming up here this summer, we may go to New York City and the daughter may take us to the Harry Potter store in New York to show us one of her favorite stores. But it all started with the books. A huge empire started with the books. And I am 100% positive that teaching Cosette to read early and getting her interested in reading early helped her succeed throughout school and helped her get where she's at right now. Ivy League school, University of Pennsylvania, Wharton Business School. If you're a parent or you're involved with a younger person at all, make sure they're reading. Don't have all screen time and games. Get them to read. It opens doors for so many wonderful things. It sure did with our daughter. Harry Potter fan to the end, and the joy and love of reading has taken her so many places. I only have one book this week to share with you because I'm going to make it a little bit shorter one. But it's this Churchill, the Life Triumphant book that I recently just finished. A quick, easy read on Churchill. I have a huge biography on Churchill upstairs that I have not read that I need to work into my reading. But this was an interesting book, full of historical photos and the highlights from Churchill's life. Interesting. I didn't know as much about him. And so this book whet my appetite, and I'm looking forward to reading the larger biography about his life. Pretty remarkable man, the things that he did and accomplished, the highs and lows of his career and his life. So what good is reading a biography? A lot of good. And if you notice, I frequently have biographies in my reading. We want to learn and be inspired and learn the bad things from history and from people that did things. Reading biographies about the trials and tribulations and successes of those that have come before us can help us achieve more and grow more and understand more about the world we live in. And I believe Jim Rohn was correct when Jim Rohn said, don't just read the good. He goes, you read a biography about Gandhi to see how high a person can go, and you read a book and biography about Hitler to see how low a person could go. And I think Jim was on point there. And that's why you'll see me reading books about Republican politicians and about Democrat politicians, reading about people that I really admire and like, reading about people that, maybe I don't care about so much, but I want to read the story. I've read biographies on Jim Jones. I've read biographies on President Reagan. Not going to get too much different, right? Both were leaders, but very different. One was, somebody I really admire and got to meet. The other one was despicable and took those people down to Guyana with 900 people, had them commit suicide together. Terrible individual. So we want to read biographies and history books about the good, about the bad, to help ourselves, and then to give us a better understanding of the world we live in. So that's why you'll see me with books with different types of reading, different perspectives. And don't be one of those morons that comes on my page and criticizes me for something that I'm reading, because you'll soon be gone. I personally like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've read a number of biographies about him and his book that he read. And it seems like anytime I post a book that I'm reading about Arnold, some moron has to come on and slam Arnold and me because they don't like Arnold. Goodbye. Got no time for people that are going to spend their time doing that. If I'm going to read a book about Donald Trump and somebody comes and slams me about that, goodbye. I don't have time for people slamming me for what I read. If I'm reading a book by Hillary Clinton, somebody wants to come and slam me about that, goodbye. Okay. You come and you say, hey, Alan, what's that book about? Why are you reading it? I don't like that person. That's cool. I got no problem with that. I am not going to say goodbye and unfriend and dismiss somebody because we disagree with opinions. I think we need to disagree with opinions. Life would be pretty boring if we didn't. But for you just to randomly come on and start slamming me or slamming a book I'm reading because you just go through Facebook doing negative comments, those are the people I got no time for. Dixon's here. Good morning, Dixon. Dixon says, soak up as much info as humanly possible to help make your life better. Exactly, Dixon. And that's why I try to read from all sorts of different kinds of different things. I read for enjoyment. I read for education. I read to understand others better and different perspectives. Jay says, right on. Appreciate you being here, Jay. That's what I wanted to share this morning. Good little interesting book. I don't know if you could find it anymore. It's an older book by the American Heritage Magazine, United Press International. I had it in my library. It's one that, I'm reading, donating as I pare down my library. I do have that huge biography of Churchill on the bookshelf that I've not read yet that I will work in, because I found this to really spark my interest more about Churchill and his life. Very interesting man, incredible career, highs and lows. So I would encourage anybody to look into a biography about Churchill and learn more about him. Very remarkable man, and you can learn some things about the history and stuff by doing that. And good morning, Jay and Vicky. Appreciate both of you guys being here. And just get out and read. And if you have kids or you influence any younger people, get them reading too. It opens doors and creates avenues and paths that they wouldn't have without it. Everybody, make it a spectacular Saturday. I'll be here tomorrow with a short Easter message. Hope everyone that's traveling to visit friends and family for Easter, that you have safe travels and an enjoyable holiday. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter. It will go out tomorrow evening. Might be a shorter one for Easter. Good morning, Richard. Appreciate you being here. You have a great day too. And so everybody, take care. Have a spectacular Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow.